Alright, and welcome to the Gmail tutorial. We're going to be switching our email as of July 1. eChalk will no longer be at Chapel Hill. This happens for various reasons, which we've talked about, but one big reason is that you get more space in Gmail. Gmail, you get about 7,800 megabytes, which is 7.8 gigabytes of space. And on eChalk you get 100 megabytes of space, so that's a big advantage already. That means you could store all of your email inside of Gmail and keep it for 5 years and never delete one and still have plenty of space. So I'm going to show you today how to get into your email and how to forward any messages from eChalk until July. So you can go ahead and switch over to the new email and start using the advantages that it gives you, and still be able to receive those eChalk emails. So I'm going to show you a few things. So I'm going to start first is log in at the login page for the new Gmail. So I'm going to go to mail.chisddevils.com. Now eventually there will be a link on the eChalk page and our new website that'll just click on it and it'll take you right to this page. This is how you get to it. Now one thing you'll notice about Gmail is that it will let you stay signed in. And that's one thing over eChalk, is eChalk, as soon as you go away from that page, you have to re-sign in. So if it's at your teacher computer, you can sign in and just click the stay signed in if you want to, and that way you come back to it. It may periodically just ask you for your password. Primarily, if it's your teacher computer, you're the only one that should be using that teacher computer. If you're doing this on a public computer or one of your student computers in your classroom or in a computer lab, make sure to check don't stay signed in and then sign out when you're done before you close your browser, just in case. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my username and password. And my username is my first initial and last name. And you don't have to type in the Chisddevils, because this is our login page just for Chapel Hill. So after that, you're going to put in your password, and all of the teachers have a default password of Chapel Hill. And I'm going to go ahead and click Stay Signed In, and then click Sign In. So once I do that, it brings me to my Gmail, and I've customized mine a little bit, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. You can see I have several emails. Down here at the bottom, it says you're currently using 1,257 megabytes, which is 16% of your 7,539. So I have over 8,000 messages in my inbox, and I'm only using 16% of the total. So again, you shouldn't have to delete, unless you want to. There's some people that like to have a clean inbox. Primarily, what I do is I'll star a message. So like this message from Maxine Hester, I may star that, and then look at my starred inbox and look at all the messages that I have starred. And then when I'm done with that one, I'll unstar it, and it's no longer on my list. So as much email as I get, that's a good thing for me to do. Another thing that you might find handy in Gmail is be able to set up your folders, and Google calls them labels. I've got several labels here on the side. You see I've got one for E-Rate, one for Mark, one for Region 8, one for Robotics, and a couple other labels here. That's easy to create just by checking the box here, and I can simply just take these messages and I can go move to either one of these labels, or I can set up an automatic filter. So let's go ahead and set up an automatic filter and see how that works. So let's pretend I want to set up an automatic filter for Mr. Clifton. So I'm going to check an email next to his name. That's the only one on this first page of inbox that I have. And I'm going to click on More Actions and do Filter Messages like these. Now it's going to come up with a rule. It says you want to create a filter for all messages from mclifton@chisd.echalk.com. So that's the rule I want to create. So I'm going to click on Next Step. And I want to apply a label. And there's not a label for Mike, so I'm gonna make a new label and call it Mike. And you can see that it's automatically found all of the emails that I received from Mike Clifton down here below. So I can also apply to the 300 conversations that we've had before, and go ahead and move those all to Mike. So I'm going to create a filter. Now there's a couple of other options that I can do. I can mark them on red automatically as they come in, which I don't recommend because you would never even know they were there. I can have it skip the inbox completely and just go to a folder, which you might want to do. For example, if you get an email from Region 8 you're on a listserv and you get that email a couple times a week, and you may not read it right away, but you want to read it later, you can go ahead and skip the inbox and have that on the side where you can just come back to that folder later and view all those emails. Mark as read, again, that takes it where it's read. Star it, forward it to, so if you have another email and you want to automatically forward that to somebody else, say you have a parent that emails you and you would like to be able to go ahead and forward that to another email account or whatever, you can do that. Delete it. Okay, spam. You get emails from a certain company a couple times a month, and you don't read it. You don't do anything with that company. It's just junk mail. You can delete it and never see it as soon as that address comes in. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this one for Mike and create filter. It'll take just a second, and it'll create this filter. And then when it's done, you'll see I can go to my inbox, and I have a new one called Mike, a new box here, and here's all of the emails from Mike, and you can see there's 685 of them, and that's any email correspondence that we've had over the last 3 years. Okay, another thing up here on the front page is you'll notice that these emails have numbers next to them. Okay, so what Google is doing is it's categorizing all of the emails that have the same subject, okay, into the same conversation. So you can see I have several emails from Neely Collins, and I can just click on those emails and it'll show me what those conversations said. Okay, this is good, for example, if you're corresponding with a parent or you're corresponding with another teacher. It keeps those grouped together to where you can easily go back and see what that person said. Here's another one. To where you can see all of the replies that I've had. You can see I replied to this person, he replied back, so it's real handy to have. So that's just your basic layout. When you're composing an email, you would just click on Compose Mail, okay, and it brings you to a new message. And here in the to box, I can just start typing anybody in Chapel Hill and it'll automatically fill that in for me. So let's say I want to email Jeff Chambers. I can just start typing in Jeff and see it automatically, even though Jeff may not be, and he is in my contacts, he may not be in my contacts, it automatically pulls from any staff member that has a Chisddevils email address. It puts his name out there. So I can back that off and I can say, let's email Missy. There's Missy Wally. Okay, it automatically pulls it from the Chapel Hill directory. Another teacher could be Sherry Ergel. Okay, there's Sherry Ergel. So if you don't have somebody in your address book and you want to email that person, you can just start typing their name and it'll show you all of the people that have, that start with that letter. I could type just an A. Here's all the people that, including my address book, that have an A in their name. So if I can start narrowing it down, AB. There's nobody in there with AB. And again, we can get to our address book or our contacts just by clicking Contacts. And then here is all of my contacts over here. And I can also search the directory and it'll pull up. So if I search for Jeff and then hit search, you can see in the Chapel Hill ISD directory, Jeff Chambers is in there. And then I can either add him to my contacts, or I can click on his email address and send him an email. Now, a couple other things that you'll notice in Gmail is the subject line, of course, attach file. You can attach any kind of file up to 25 megabytes that you'd like. And then there's where if you want to bold, italic, the standard stuff. I think you can insert smiley faces, all kinds of nice smiley faces there. And also this button right here, some people don't know what that is. If I click that, it's actually going to open a window with that email, with just that email. That's handy if, say I'm replying to somebody, or I want to see another email for context. I can actually open this in another window and be able to see what that other email was and have two things kind of going at once. So I'm going to close that. Another way to reply to an email is, let's say you get an email from another teacher. Here's an email from Mr. Prannell. I can reply directly inside this email without having to go out. So I can either hit reply here, or I can just click right in this box, and you can see it opens up a reply right below it. So I can read his email as I'm replying. Thank you, Mr. Prannell. Okay, and I'm not going to send that. So I'm going to hit discard. So you've got all the usual stuff. You can forward, you can reply to all. You know, if he sent it to a bunch of people, I can hit reply to all and do that. So it's pretty handy stuff. Let's go back to our inbox here. Okay, up at the top, you have everybody has settings. So I'm going to click on settings and show you just a few of the settings that we have. All of my emails have a signature to where it kind of shows who I am, my title, my phone numbers. You might want to do that and have an automatic, you know, hey, I'm the 5th grade math teacher. This is my name. This is how you can contact me. Have a nice day. Anything you want to put in there, you can have it automatically attach at the bottom of any email you send. So kind of going down the line here, if you want to change the language, you can change the language to any language. You can show as many conversations per page. Like it was only showing 25, you can have it show up to 100 on one page. So if you keep all of your messages in the inbox, you can actually have it show more. There are some handy keyboard shortcuts for if you use Gmail on a daily basis, where you can just hit a letter on the keyboard and it'll go to compose email or whatever, and you can learn about that by clicking on learn more. Just going down the line here, conversation view is on by default to where it groups emails in the same topic. You can turn that off if you don't like that. There is an undo send, and I'll show you how to use that later. Let's see, keep going down here. There's your automatic vacation response. So let's say that during the summer you want to set your email to where it automatically replies to anybody that sends to it, hey, I'm on vacation, summer vacation from this time to this time. You can have that automatically where if I click on, and then you can have it end on, so enter the times that it automatically will send that email. Now the good thing about this is it doesn't send it every time that same person emails you. So you're getting emails from your principal or another teacher. It'll only send that once every 4 days. So they won't just be annoyed with hey, I'm on vacation, you know, that kind of thing. The second section on settings is labels. Now you can see I have several labels. This is where you can create new labels, and I'll show you more about the labels in a second. Accounts. There's not really anything you might need to do in here. If you want to change your password, you would come here and go to Google account settings, and you can change that. If you click edit info next to your name, you can actually change the name that it goes out as. So if you want to put your, you know, if you want to put your middle name, or if you have a suffix, you know, at the end of your name, then you could add that here and then just hit save changes. Filters. This is all the filters that I have set up for different things coming into my email. So, you know, I have companies that spam me, and, you know, I don't see those anymore because I've set up a filter. I'm going to skip the forwarding and pop. Well, let me go to it just for a second. You can actually forward this email to another email account. Say you're on vacation and you want this to forward to your personal email for the summer. You can do that. And then the rest of these are just personalization things. Labs is kind of a neat one because there's some experimental features in Gmail that you can turn on that are handy. You know, that Google employees have created. You can go ahead and enable any of those, and it'll allow you to do some extra functionality. Like I said earlier, you can actually have there's a message undo to where it'll wait before it sends an email. It'll wait 20 seconds before it actually sends the mail. So that'll allow you a little bit of time. Say you forgot the attachment, or you say, wait, I need to add something. Then it'll show a little undo box at the top where you can hit undo send and then go and add some things. The themes, you can actually pick the color scheme that you want for your personal Gmail. So if I click on this marker one, okay, and you'll notice in just a second it'll change my entire Gmail. So you change the colors. I'm using the Android one, okay, and you can change the planets. There's lots of really neat ones that you can change to, and that's only changing on yours. It's not changing on everybody else's. So feel free to customize. You can even choose your own colors. Customize how that is, and, you know, have fun with it. So that's kind of the basic layout of Gmail. So now I'm going to show you how to forward your eChalk email to your new email account. So once you go in there and get it all set up, you know, you can actually forward. So I'm going to log into eChalk, and it comes to your email, and once that opens, over on the side, you'll see where it says options. Okay, so I'm going to click on options. and when it comes up, you click on forward and reply. So forward and reply, and then I've already forwarded mine to my new account, but you can just click add and then enter your new email address, and then make sure and uncheck this box that says leave a copy of messages in my eChalk mailbox, because if you don't, it's going to fill it up and then you won't get any email anymore. So uncheck that. If you want to set an auto reply to anybody that emails you at eChalk, I would recommend setting that and saying we are in the process of changing our email. Changing email. Please change your address book to sbert@chisddevils.com. So that way anybody that emails you from the new or to the old email until July will get an automatic reply that says, hey, we're changing our email. You might want to change your address book, and then they change it, they won't get that anymore. So you can have that. You don't have to do that, but that's something I would recommend. So that's how you forward your email to your new CHISD email. Again, you would go to mail.chisddevils.com, and that will allow you to log in. Again, your username is your first initial and your last name, and then your password is Chapel Hill. So do that. In July 1, we will be switched over, and you'll no longer receive email from eChalk. On the next video, we're going to be talking about the integrated calendar and Google Docs. That's all part of this, and that'll be on the next video. Okay, hope everyone has a great day.